Hey Virgo, happy December and happy holidays. Whether you celebrate or not, I'm sending you just tons of love and blessings this season. I really enjoy it, if you couldn't tell. Okay, Virgo, let's talk about your channeled message. Something really cool came through as I sat down to pick out a deck and shuffle your cards and kind of tune in for your energy. As always, I pray for, the messages that are for your highest good, whether they be easy to hear, difficult to hear, positive, negative, good, bad, ugly, that it always be to serve your highest good, your highest joy and liberation, right? So this month, what Spirit said was practicing what you've been taught by your teacher is more important than scholarly study. Meaning, we could reduce that to practice what you preach or practice what you've been taught. And what Spirit kind of gave me was interesting, but they gave me this image of nuns and priests. And the idea was these people are devoted, right? Devoted to a school of thought. And their whole life, the majority of their life is spent studying these texts. But Spirit was like, we're thinking of you more like a Mother Teresa, where I really practice what I preach. Like, I do a lot more practicing than preaching. That's what Spirit just said. So we could also call it put your money where your mouth is, but essentially don't keep all that amazing information and knowledge that you have locked away inside or in your library or in your notebook. Go forth. Share your compassion and love. Share what you've been taught this month in whatever way that applies for you, Virgo. Okay? Okay. Now we're going to see, yay, oh my God. Now we're going to see how that message plays with your cards. And let's see what Spirit wants to tell you about the month of December. Possibilities. Wow. Okay. Now I'm going to grab one more, Virgo. Got to clarify. What's this message, Spirit? What is this message coming in for Virgo? Okay. Okay, Virgo. You've got a bit of a mystery to traverse and a choice to make this month. So it feels like, okay, here's a good time to, like they said, put into practice these lessons that you've been taught. Some of you may have Cancer placements. Getting a little bit of crossover messaging here. Okay, so you start the reading in just a beautiful place. Spirit wants to reassure you that, yes, you face some mysteries this month, and possibly even some dissolutions, some leaving behind of certain things, some recognition that certain things aren't working for you as they should or as you want them to, and that you have to make certain changes. That maybe you have to practice something that you've been taught, something that you've been maybe told by, could be a therapist, could be a teacher, could be a counselor, whatever. Spirit wants to reassure you with this 10 of Cups that you are surrounded by love, that you will be supported as you... Some of you, the Spirit's giving me a strong vibe that some of you are either sober or deciding to get sober this month. And that's big. And I want to say for those of you for whom that is true, congratulations to you. And there will be support for you there. Some of you may not be literally giving up any kind of like substance or alcohol or something, but you might be giving up a dead-end relationship, a dead-end effort that you've been pouring a lot of your emotional energy into, your time. You might be deciding that your work could be better spent elsewhere. I want to advise you, Cancer, to... Oh my gosh, did I just call you Cancer? Sorry, I was staring at that moon card. I want to advise you, Virgo, that you don't want to was going to say you don't want to fear the mystery. But really, it's okay to have fear as long as fear sits in the back seat and isn't driving your fucking car. Because if fear is driving your car, this is like how things are going to end up. And why do I say that? Let me explain. And also, I just want to say that's not spirit, like giving you a spirit, like divine spanking or anything like that. I find that, here comes a controversial opinion from a tarot reader. I find that certain cards, in general readings, more often come up for certain signs. And Virgo, I sometimes feel like you get the Tower because you are so determined to make things work and so adaptable and so willing to like play by the rules and stick to the rules, right, as they've been laid out, that sometimes you might do a little bit of this until the Tower falls because you don't want to maybe be the one to say this isn't working or we need to change this or that. You just want to like, maybe go along to get along. You're a loving sign. You, as great as you are at pointing out, what's not working, you don't really care for abandoning things or leaving things behind that maybe sometimes need to be ultimately left behind. Certain systems that aren't working for you, and that's how Spirit is putting it. Certain systems for some of you are not working. The way I've been handling my money, not working. Leading to a freaking Tower moment. Like, I need to ask for help. That's also what the Five of Pentacles is about. It's about not being afraid to look up and say, I have no idea what I'm doing. Or even just as little as, I feel like I could probably get further faster if I got an expert opinion on this. I feel like I get this sense, right, that with the Tower, it's like, oh, something is on shaky ground. And I really don't want to, I really don't want to end up feeling at a loss, okay? And here's the really, okay. I don't know, my cat is doing a little dance over there. I want to tell you that you're going to be okay. That your cards actually foretell a clearing of this like dramatic moment and a little bit of like perspective gained from that. Yes, your life may be turned upside down and we notice all of these figures are upside down. Life isn't going to work the same old way that it used to, and it feels like it can't. It feels like that's unsustainable. It feels like, why would I, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, right? It's time for something new, and in some cases, for some of you Virgos, it's time to request professional help. Like, and I feel bad that some of you might cringe just hearing that freaking phrase, and that's it. Like, that sucks. I wish there wasn't any kind of stigma around asking for help in general, but especially the phrase professional help. Which, yes, for some of you could involve, like, getting a counselor or a therapist or whatever and working with somebody on your mental health. But this could also be, and I'm feeling this for some of you, I need a fucking financial advisor. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've gotten myself into a little bit of a mess, and I need somebody to come in and help me, like, figure out what this all is. However, whatever arena in your life, Virgo, that you have determined, this habitual effort that I've been making is not, like, this what they're showing me now is somebody, like, pouring into a leaky bucket. I could pour and I could pour and I could pour and I could work harder and I could go faster and I could do longer hours and all this. That shit is still gonna leak if we don't fucking get rid of that bucket. We need to get rid of the bucket. We need to throw the whole bucket away. Throw the whole financial system away and seek out somebody who can tell you what to do. Somebody who is a leader, someone you can trust. And I feel like the offer is coming to some of you. Some of it, it's straight up like, hey, do you want some help with that? And if the offer doesn't come to you and you're like, man, I could use that kind of assistance, again, whatever realm of your life that may be, Virgo, that could be as simple as, you know what, like, I work like 80 hours a week and I hate coming home to like a dirty house or whatever, so I'm just going to hire somebody to come in once a week and clean up my fucking house while I'm not there so I can come home and be like, oh yeah, thank you. Like, that could be the kind of professional help you're asking for. Or, shit, we've been hoarding. I need some professional fucking help to get this house, like, in order. It's a good time to make a brave, beautiful choice, to make a change. That's what they're saying. You will be loved and supported, Virgo. It feels important to tell you that. Like, maybe some of you are going to have to, like, rock the proverbial boat a little bit and be like, listen, family, listen, partner, listen, whoever. Like, we can't be doing it this way anymore. We've got to make this kind of change. The way that we've been just kind of like, maybe this, maybe that, that's not working for us anymore. We need to pick something and go with it. Somebody can help see you through this mystery. Don't be afraid to ask for that, Virgo. You always put yourself in service of others. So it can be hard for you to accept when finally, like, okay, yes, I'm a strong fucking workhorse, but I cannot and should not have to do everything alone. Let me get some help. And listen, if you don't want to, Virgo, we live in an amazing time where if you don't want to ask for literal help, if you don't want anybody to know, or you don't have the funds, or whatever it may be, and believe me, I understand all of these scenarios. This is a time when you can go to, like, I can't afford a fucking therapy, so I'm going to go onto YouTube and I'm going to look up, therapists talking about dealing with depression, or natural ways to deal with anxiety, or cognitive behavioral therapy for OCD. You'd be shocked at the kind of stuff that people are putting up, amazing information for free. Seize that. Go for it. Get the assistance and the input that you need. This doesn't have to be walking in the dark. The aim is actually to get you to walk in the light of truth. Okay? And here's what Spirit wants to say about that. Walking through this endlessly, walking in the dark endlessly, how does that make us feel? Primally afraid, in constant, like this is what Spirit is saying. Some of you might literally be experiencing symptoms of adrenal fatigue. And just look that up. I won't belabor the point because that may not apply for some of you. But for those of you who have been like going hard all year, and it's been like stress, work, this, that, drama, blah, blah, blah. Some of you may be experiencing literal adrenal fatigue, and you want to get some assistance with that. So like I said, walking in the dark, fearful, frightening, confusing. Our adrenaline is burning because we don't know what to do. Cortisol is pumping into our system, making us like sleepless and overweight. And our body goes awry and informs us when things are not working well, right? So why stay in the dark? Certain signs, like I say, seem to get these cards, and that's not a read. That is like, let's not stave this off and wait for the tower to crumble. Let's say, I don't know what I'm doing. I need some assistance, and get ahead of it. And maybe we can just, even if it's just to ring the bell and leave before the tower does ultimately collapse, better that than just like, hope this all works out. Hasn't worked out in the past. Hope it just suddenly starts to work out. Like, we can make a new choice. We're going to finish out this decade strong. We're going to finish this decade out feeling relieved, feeling like we're doing our healing, feeling like we can finally have some peace of mind and get our thoughts in order. That's how Spirit just put it. It's time to make a new choice. A choice that is going to make you feel lighter, brighter, having more fun. Some of you may be, I mean, this is a gimme, right? Because it's the holiday season. There's a lot of love, friendship, family here, as well as, of course, the potential for romance and that kind of reunion as well. But really, Spirit is emphasizing a reunion with yourself. Really, Spirit is asking you to be honest with yourself and then act on that honesty in whatever way that applies. If you need to have a conversation with someone, have it. If you need to stop having conversations with someone and walk away, do what you have to do for your mental, emotional, financial health. There's a new perspective coming this month, and I do think it's bringing you more peace of mind, even if it does kind of come at the cost of, man, I really have to think about my struggles and think about what hasn't been working for me. In a way, this is the best time to do that, right? It's December, it's winter, it's the season where things are dormant, but only so that they can be filled with this potential energy, right? And then the shoot of the seeds burst through the stiff, cold ground and into life. You are not stiff or dead or done. You might be a little dormant. You might be filling with potential energy to burst into something new in 2020. Think of it that way. If something is going to burst, if a tower moment is going to happen, then that is an outpouring of energy, maybe in a direction that you weren't hoping for. That is a directing of the potential energy in a way that's like, fuck, this blew it apart instead of blowing it open. We have a choice. That is sitting in the future. Okay, that is sitting as the potential. Our free will is everything. We can shift things for ourselves, even by starting within. As within, so without. I shift my energy about the situation on the inside, and yes, something does happen where the energy ripples outward. If I ask for help before the crisis comes, I can stave off the crisis. Ask for help now. Somebody who knows what they're doing can help you out, can take a look at your situation and give you like a completely new perspective that can change everything. That's what they're telling me. I wouldn't say it, Virgo, if it wasn't true. This is not a bad reading. There's a lot of joy and love and success possible here, but it is a healing reading, and we all know that healing, that's the knitting back together of our fibers. So there is some friction there, but we need friction to gain traction, Virgo. Don't fear the friction. Practice what you've been taught. Don't lock yourself or your thoughts or your abilities away. Practice them. What are you facing this month, Virgo? What is the mystery, the fear? What is it that you fear? That is something to consider. And is that real? Is this thing that I'm fearing, is that real? Is that really on the other side of, the next couple weeks? Or am I paralyzing myself a little bit? Am I almost creating a future tower moment by arresting myself in the present? I would say this is a good month to make changes rather than to stay in the old way. There are some months where it's like, keep at it, do what you do, system and structure, and do it exactly this way. This month, it's like, try something refreshing. The same old isn't doing it for you in any which way, it feels like. So try something new. It takes courage, but it pays joy. That's what Spirit just said. I kind of like that. It's like feeding courage bills into a machine and it just gives you joy. Like, delicious. Thank you. I needed this. So tell me about it, Virgo. This is super fucking intense, and I would love to hear how this is playing out or manifesting for you. You help me improve at my craft when you do that as well, so I appreciate your thoughtful, considerate comments. And please, as always, if you like this, like it. And if you have friends that would benefit from it, I would love for you to share it with them. I'm trying to grow my teeny tiny channel, my little lighthouse up bigger, turn a lot of other little lighthouses on. So I appreciate your help in doing that. And I appreciate you being here in general, Virgo. Thank you for showing up. I hope that this is tremendously helpful. Feels like we're going to enter 2020 with a lighter heart. And I love that for you. Wishing you much love and many blessings, Virgo. And if I don't see you in a video before then I will see you in the Happy New Year. Bye, Virgo.